Welcome back to WP Sports Desk. Are you ready for some football? We sure are. I've got Wyatt, Greg, Chris, and Ryan to break down the NFL, but first, we'll go to Justin with our top story.
Thanks, Mason. After a 1-5 start this season, Jets head coach Todd Bowles has announced that he has benched starting quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick in favor of Geno Smith. Fitzpatrick has thrown only 5 touchdowns and an abysmal league-leading 11 interceptions. In the first 6 games this year, Geno Smith was expected to start over Fitzpatrick, but last year, before a teammate broke his jaw in a fight.
Thank you, Justin. Now, fellas, let's talk about that. Was it the right decision to bench Fitzpatrick? We had options to go with Geno Smith or Bryce Petty. Tell me about the decisions here.
Well, I'd actually, I know he's recovering from injury, but I'd go with Bryce Petty as soon as possible. They're probably going to get a high pick, and they need to know if they need to use that pick on quarterback or if they want to shore up their defense.
Bryce Petty's irrelevant. He really is. You're paying someone $12 million.
Did you watch him preseason? He looked good.
Yeah, sure, preseason. That means
he
nothing.
He has the arm. He has the physical tools.
Look, Petty, bad. Fitzpatrick, bad. Smith, bad. Hagenberg, yikes. You might as well put the one out there that you're paying $12 million. Why would you?
I'm completely in agreement with
Play
you.
him.
You do not sign somebody in the offseason that you're just going to sit on the bench. You don't sit down $12 million. You don't sit down $20 million.
Yeah,
I will go Ryan
It's
Fitzpatrick.
only a 1-year deal. It's only a 1-year deal. Listen, the season's over. They're 1-5,
Exactly.
correct? Season's
Yeah,
over.
absolutely correct.
Maybe Geno deserves this start this week. See what he has. It's probably nothing. I think we all agree it's nothing. And maybe once Petty's healthy, I think I agree with Greg. However, it really doesn't matter. They're so bad.
They're terrible.
Now, fellas, let's keep the conversation on Fitzpatrick. We saw him get re-signed. Was this a good idea?
Absolutely. They had no other option. You might have got lucky with someone in the draft. You took Hackenberg. You didn't get lucky, clearly. You had no other option. You had to pay him because there was no other option. You had nothing left to do because you waited too long. That's all on the Jets. It's all their fault.
I clamored for him in the offseason. I wanted the Jets. I talked to all of you during the offseason. I said Jets need to sign Fitzpatrick, but now looking back, it was a mistake. He has 0 touchdowns in the second half to 10 interceptions. He's costed this team multiple games. It was a mistake.
See, but my thing is that it's really, really hard to blame a team for going with the hot hand. Over last year, Ryan Fitzpatrick was playing really well. He had 5, at the time right now, he has 5 touchdowns. He also has 11 interceptions. It's clearly a stark contrast to where he was last year, where he had interceptions within 10 or so and a lot of more touchdowns.
I think the mistake was waiting too long because not only did he miss the offseason workouts, but they drafted Christian Hackenberg. Now they have 4 quarterbacks. He's stunting the growth of Peyton Hackenberg because they aren't getting reps.
Now, let's flip it over to Dallas. Cowboys decided to keep Dak Prescott. Good move, bad move? Greg, what do you think?
Here's what I do. I'd stick with the hot hand. Keep Dak in for now. If he loses a game or two, maybe then you go back to Romo. Then the offseason, trade Romo, see what you can get.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Dak is the hot hand. He's taking care of the football. He had a couple fumbles against the Packers. I think only one of them was lost. But you know the reason the Cowboys are winning is that offensive line and then their number 1 draft pick, Ezekiel Elliott. He's been phenomenal.
Guys, are we ready to hand the key to the city to Dak Prescott? It's been 7 weeks. Let's calm down. There's a franchise quarterback. You can't back away from your franchise quarterback.
He's in his late 30s and he's fragile.
But he's still the franchise quarterback. The next 7 weeks, Dak Prescott could throw 7 straight interceptions. It doesn't matter.
I don't think that would happen because
look at the
they go
Broncos
back to
last
Romo,
year.
like I
Look at the
said.
Broncos last year. What did they do? Went back to the franchise guy because you have to wait on development. Yeah, he's done great. You have to give him a lot of credit. But guess what? Anyone can do great with that good of a running game.
But
Going back to the Ryan Fitzpatrick argument, you can't sit down $28 million. Jerry Jones has believed in Tony Romo for a number of years, almost 10 years now. You have to go with them. However, I will say that Dak Prescott right now should be the starter until Romo is 100% healthy. His injury history is extremely proven to where he's not the most durable player ever. So we should wait for him to get to 100%, and then we go back to our quarterback.
Right. Let's talk about the Steelers, guys. Big Ben, knee injury, out possibly 4 to even 6 weeks. Are we going to see the Steelers kind of just plummet from here, or can they survive without
I think
him?
they can survive. It's going to be hard because Big Ben, as we know, is an all-time great. He's their leader. But they went 2-2 last year and he was out. They split. And Landry Jones isn't very good, but they have that, in my opinion, the best running back in the league when healthy. As you can see in the next 4 games, they got a tough matchup against the Patriots, but then they're playing the Ravens, which is a winnable game. Then the Cowboys at 5-1, another tough matchup, and the Browns, they should win. So it's very possible they could split these 2 games.
Well, looking at the Ravens' record, They're 3-3. That shows how Pittsburgh will be just fine because the Ravens are in second place. 3-3, 500. They're not crazy good. So Pittsburgh doesn't have to be this stellar team to win their division because the Browns aren't beating them. They're 0-6. Right. The Bengals have been awful. So to be honest, Pittsburgh can just get by playing 500 ball and still win the division.
I think the Ravens could potentially pull out that win a few weeks from now because they do have a good defense.
Landry Jones is a fourth-round draft pick, guys. You don't get drafted that high without having some sort of ability. He was a very good quarterback coming out of Oklahoma, and he should show us something. This is why they drafted him.
That's the offense they had, though, out in Oklahoma. Like, it's the Big 12. Defense is optional. He really didn't show much last year. It's more because of Le'Veon Bell.
True, it was because of Le'Veon Bell, but also at the same time, he was coming in relief for Ben Roethlisberger. This time, he's actually going to take control of the team for 4 to 6 weeks, and we can actually see what he actually have with him. You don't draft backup quarterbacks for nothing.
Right. So, guys, now we're going to close out the show with a new segment, Bloss's Best, where Greg is going to give us his top 5 plays of the week. Greg?
All right, number 5, the Chiefs-Raiders game in Oakland. It was rainy. Andre Holmes get mugged, but he's going to make the catch in the back of the end zone. However, the Chiefs got the last laugh, 26-10. Number 4 now, Packers-Cowboys. A-Lace is going to make a few cuts to get out of the backfield and watch him press the Y button there and jump over Byron Jones. Get another look at that. You'll see when he jumps over Jones, his form is perfect. Makes me wonder if he did hurdles in high school. However, the Cowboys ended up winning that game. Number 3, Sunday night, Osweiler's going to find Lamar Miller over the middle. He's trying to get to the sideline. Knows that's not going to work. He's going to make a few guys miss, cut back to Mill. He's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown. That helped Houston come back and win the game in overtime. Number 2, Titans-Browns. Not the most exciting game, but Marcus Mariota's going to go up top. Kendall Wright is going to lay out for it, make the catch. He's going to get up, get into the end zone for a touchdown. And that would end up propelling them to victories. They won 28-26. Number 1 now. We're going to go to the Panthers-Saints game, a shootout. Breeze is going to step up in the pocket. He's going to take a huge hit. He's going to throw up to Josh Hills. He makes the jumping catch in back of the end zone for a touchdown. The Saints will end up winning on a last-second field goal.
Thank you, Greg. That's all the time we have for this week's episode of WP Sports Desk. I'd like to thank our analysts, our crew, and of course our studio manager, Al Clark. Join us next week for more in-depth analysis from Studio B in Hobart Hall. I'm Mason Mills. See you next week.